It's been a while, y'all, and I'm really excited to be back. So we have been really focusing on Power Women Wellness interviews, and as you can see on our YouTube channel, we've been like uploading them, and honestly, I'm talking to the most badass women ever, so I'm so excited. But we are so excited now that we have finished remodeling a house and moving in, ready to get back into geeking out with y'all about like nutrition and health stuff. So let's do it. In this first video, I want to talk about a very controversial topic, but I want to come at it with so much love, so much compassion, so much understanding, no judgment, and an understanding that it's not so black and white like I think people would love it to be. There are gray areas. There are situations where certain medications have more pros than cons, but I want to leave this video being very excited and you feeling hopeful that you don't have, like, this is not your last resort. There's still so much to explore before resorting to any weight loss drugs, because it's really exciting that your body is really amazing, and we want to make sure that if your body is holding on to weight, we're understanding why that is. So let's get into it. Okay, so starting off, just reminding you, this is a gray area. It's not black and white, but my biggest pet peeve with these weight loss drugs that are on the market right now is that it's lowering women's appetite. And that is a problem because I'm not exaggerating when like I say 98% of women we see in our practice are struggling to eat. And they don't even actually realize they're struggling to eat because they are so used to, this is very common in chronic dieters, they're just used to the amount of food that they're consuming. Their hunger cues have changed, their appetite is off, but in their mind, they're like, I'm not hungry, I'm eating when I'm hungry, and yeah, I'm eating enough. But when we get into the nitty-gritty details, I'm not joking, these women don't even realize how much they're under eating. They're under eating like under 1,500 calories, and that's a problem. That's a problem for weight because our metabolism is reliant on the fuel that we give it, just like a car. When our car is running out of gas, guess what happens? It eventually stops and we have to walk to the gas station and get gas. Thankfully, our body doesn't have that big cutoff where if you don't eat enough, you croak. No, thankfully our bodies are way smarter than that and we have mechanisms to keep us alive. But we want to be our most vibrant self. We want to be thriving in energy. We want to be at a really healthy weight. And that is very multifactorial. And one of the biggest issues is fueling enough. If you don't fuel enough, your metabolism is absolutely going to tank. So when you put a weight loss drug on top of this, that's lowering your appetite, I feel like we're kind of going backwards and going into the 1990s. I was gonna say the 1900s, which I guess is true too. But the 1990s, early 2000s, whenever, I swear there was another dieting drug. I swear there was. Maybe I wasn't born yet, but I swear it was like all the rage. So I feel like we're kind of going back in time. But when we put these drugs on top of it, and we've worked with patients on these drugs, honestly, they really struggle eating. Like, they don't have appetite. Obviously, that's how the drug works. But the downfall of that is that they're not eating. So yes, they may lose weight initially, but they are going to struggle with metabolism long-term, and now they're not even able to nourish themselves. So now they're at risk for like nutrient deficiencies, and it's a huge domino effect. So we want to be encouraging women to eat and strength train, and that takes more fuel as well, and to support their hormones. And it just starts to become very difficult when they literally cannot eat anymore. We are starting to see an uptick in patients who have done this. And from what I've heard, this drug is not cheap by any means, but they've done it, they've gone through it, they had a lot of success, but the weight is coming back. Because again, this drug isn't solving the root cause for why stubborn weight is happening. There can be a lot of reasons, a lot of different hormones, from blood sugar and high cortisol, low cortisol, sex hormone imbalances, gut issues, you name it. There's so many reasons why stubborn weight loss happens, and we want to understand why that is. And taking something that's just going to lower appetite is not always going to be that answer. I feel like we are hurting our long-term selves for like a short-term success. Like I said, there's so many factors into weight. There's thyroid, there's metabolism, all the things I've just stated, but under eating is really important, really, really important to not do. And again, people don't realize that they're doing it. When they come in our practice, we're like, we need you eating more. So we are just seeing where we hit a wall because we obviously can't like shove more food into someone who does not have an appetite. But when we are eating enough, we are fueling our metabolism and we are actually moving towards like long-term forever weight loss, not going to be this up and down, up and down. Everything from what I've seen so far is that most people do gain the weight back. It depends on the length of time. I've seen people gain it back pretty quickly, and I've seen people who actually have done it, kept it off for years, but then obviously they run into the issue again because they're not getting to the root cause. And that's why we're here. We want to help you figure that out and then support you the best we can with food and lifestyle changes. Now, I do want to read some things that I got from one of the weight loss drugs website because I think these things need to be talked about. They're not perfect with the studies out there by any means. Every drug kind of has a side effect, but I think we need to talk about it a little bit more just because a lot of people go into doing any drug, even things like birth control, they don't even realize the side effects. So let me share what I found on their website so you can kind of see what the side effects are. So in this case, here it says there is possible thyroid tumors, including cancer. And as you can see, it's starting to list a bunch of the different symptoms of thyroid cancer. Now, there was a study in rats. So this is a rat study. I want to repeat, this is a rat study. It's not a human study, but there's really never been any human studies on this. And it's just something to know is like, okay, when these rats, I don't think we should absolutely discredit this though. Yes, we're not rats, but I think that this is a first stepping stone before we actually understand what it does for humans. But in rats, there was an increase in thyroid cancer when taking this drug. The next thing that I found is that there were gallbladder problems in some people who have taken this drug, having these symptoms of having like pain in your upper stomach and yellowing of skin or eyes. So there are some negative gallbladder effects that we're seeing with the use of this drug. The other thing that I didn't find any research for is microbiome, because you guys know that we love and specialize in hormones and gut and how we utilize food to support that. And I did not find any long-term microbiome studies with anyone on this drug. So just take that with a grain of salt as well. Just because, studies can be a little bit slower to get to that point and understanding of what's going on. And so there is the downfall of we don't know exactly how it affects the microbiome. If it affects the microbiome, there's really no research on it. So we are going at it at a risk. So I want you to feel good. I want you to feel confident in your body. I want you to look good. I want you to be at a healthy weight. But I don't want you to get that with hurting something internally. Again, I believe the body is really, really smart. I think it's intelligent. I think it's always fighting for you, even if it doesn't feel like it. And we got to really understand the whole picture. And so I know doctors tend to see you, maybe once or 2 times a year, once a year for your yearly, whatever it may be. And you can say, hey, I'm eating healthy and I'm exercising. And to you, potentially that, like from everything that you're like, I am doing it right. But if you've never worked with a professional that specializes in nutrition and diet or exercise or something like that, then you don't know if that is right for you. We know a lot of people that come to us and they're like, honestly, that's most of our clientele is like people who eat relatively healthy, and they come to us and be like, I'm eating healthy. And again, when we start diving into the details and walking hand in hand with you throughout your journey, we see, no, this person actually, there's a lot of improvement that can go on. Maybe it's something macro of like, she needs to have more protein. She's eating way too many carbs, or she's eating too many fats and it's kind of making her too satiated and she's not getting enough protein. Or maybe it's like having a certain food that doesn't jive well with your body and you don't really know it because how a food jives with your body, I think we think it's GI related, like does it make me bloated, does it give me a headache, but it can also be just not losing weight, just holding on to it. So all in all, what breaks my heart is when we chase these vanity things, which it's okay to have some, you gotta look good, you gotta feel confident. That's okay to have that, but it's when we put that priority a little bit higher than internal health. To me, internal health is first, and then your external will follow. So if your external is kind of halted and something's going on, did you look at everything? Did we look at gut health? Did we look at all the hormones? Like I mentioned earlier in the video, thyroid, blood sugar, cortisol, sex hormones. And that's like, there's so many more hormones in the body, but those, are the main ones. Did we look at environmental toxin exposure, under eating, overall, your metabolism, sleep, stress? These are all things that need to be addressed. And so going and seeing your doctor and them saying, maybe, you're a candidate for this drug, did they really truly assess all of that? And I kid you not, just because we see a lot of women who want to lose weight, there's always that something that maybe was missed or wasn't really assessed or understood. So we're here. You can go to the link in our bio. If you need us, we would love to hop on a call with you. We do the intro calls just to get to know you, make sure we're a good fit. All of our packaging and pricing is right on our website, so we're not trying to hide anything. We would love to be your partner in this journey with you. And whether you're on it, you have been on it and you gained the weight back, or maybe you're even contemplating it, whatever stage you're at, we would love to be a part of it and try to help you move the needle, and just know that your body is fighting for you all the time and we are here to partner with it.